Kanye apologizes to Black people over his hateful antics. We have the apology. I'm going to break it down, let you decide. So, Kanye, entering into his redemption arc, has issued a formal apology for his past remarks via putting the apology in the Wall Street Journal is not advised. Just for starters. Okay. All right. Let's get into the meat of it. Let's break it down. Uh, Regardless of what the catalyst is, it takes a lot for somebody to say I'm sorry. But those are two of the most powerful words in the world. I'm sorry or I apologize. Three very powerful words. I love you. And there's another very powerful phrase. I forgive you. I forgive you. Okay. Black folks are skeptical. I have one more that says you took out a Wall Street Journal ad to apologize for past anti-Semitic remarks in an open letter paid for by Yeezy. Ye apologized for his past remarks, which he claims stem from neurological damage after the 2002 car crash. I could wax poetic about other ways that he could have put this apology out to the Black community. Black publications could have syndicated this article that entities like the Wall Street Journal would have picked up because they would have followed the story rather than him taking out an ad in the journal. But the meat of this is about his own journey and reconciliation. That comes by way of observation than by way of a note. So regardless of what we may feel about the ad or the process in which it came to us, the true mark, the true summary of someone is never a combination of their falls, but the resilience of how they get up. And that comes with, once again, observation, time. Sharing thoughts here.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think apologies are needed, necessary, and okay. And I don't really have a problem with what he said, the body of it. He could have added in more about us, I think, in more detail. But his ex-wife pretty much said the same thing when he was going through one of his worst episodes several years ago, and he was tormenting her by talking about terminated pregnancies and the like. But I do take note about where he placed this apology and what he may be seeking. Observation, you're right, Doc, is the only way to go. So we'll see if he's changed here and if there'll be a new Kanye. And he doesn't have to be perfect, but time will tell.
Yeah. Um,
Kanye West took to the Wall Street Journal of all places to issue an apology to people for his behavior. And I want to start this video off by saying that I have bipolar disorder. I've had it all my life and I've been diagnosed and on medication for almost 10 years. I'm not excusing his behavior in any way. Now that that's out the way, for the people that don't watch the entire video, let's get into what this apology said. So in this letter, he explained that a car accident 25 years ago caused a brain injury that went undiagnosed until 2023. He also talked a lot about his bipolar 1 disorder. He said it warped his sense of reality, made him feel powerful, and right during manic episodes when he was actually very, very, very sick. He brought some health statistics up about the illness shortening life expectancy and being as deadly as other major diseases, and he addressed his past behavior and said that he was sorry for using symbols like the swastika. He also apologized to the Black community, calling us his foundation. Now, he also talked about a major 4-month manic episode in early 2025 that led to him hitting rock bottom, and that's what finally pushed him to seek the proper treatment, according to him. He now claims that he is now following a treatment plan of medication and therapy. He did end the letter by saying, quote, "I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home," end quote. Now, do y'all forgive him?
Do you believe Kanye West? So Kanye West took out a Wall Street Journal ad to apologize for his past anti-Semitic remarks, right? He stated things like, "I regret and I am deeply mortified by my actions in that state. I am committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did. I am not a Nazi or an anti-Semite. I love Jewish people." Now, this comes after him explaining that he had a bipolar episode that extended for a period of time, which led to a lot of the things we saw from Kanye last year, whether it's him showing up to the red carpet the way he did, or him going on these crazy Twitter rants or these wild interviews that he did where he was saying a bunch of things. And then most of all, him releasing that song, Hail Hitler, which is crazy, right? Now, in response to this, a lot of people feel like he's only doing this because his Bully album is slated to drop this Friday. So he's only doing this as promo for the album. Well, Kanye had a response to this. He said, "It is my understanding that I was in the top 10 most listened to artists overall in the US on Spotify in 2025 and last week and most days as well. My upcoming album, Bully, is currently one of the most anticipated pre-saves of any album, too. My 2007 album, Graduation, was also the most listened to and streamed hip-hop album of 2025. This, for me, is, as evidenced by the letter, isn't about reviving my commerciality. This is because these remorseful feelings were so heavy on my heart and weighing on my spirit. I owe a huge apology once again to everything that I said that hurt the Jewish and Black communities in particular. All of it went too far." Now, a lot of people feel like this is promo for the album because he came out with this apology the week that his album dropped. So you could have made this apology at any point, but you made the apology the week that the album dropped. Now, it's up to the listener to believe whether this apology is sincere or not. Whether they think the bipolar disorder was the reason he said the things that he did and made the songs that he did and the actions that he took. It's all up to the listener. It's all up for you to decide. I can't tell you. I do feel like there's truth in what he's saying. I also feel like this is kind of marketing because, again, you could have apologized at any point. And you apologized the week that your album was dropping. I don't know, guys, how you feel. Let me know in the comments. Till next time, I'm out of here. You shit me.
So Kanye West took out an entire page in the Wall Street Journal, which is one of the most prominent newspapers in our country. And it isn't cheap. If I'm not mistaken, it costs around 6 figures to take out an entire page in the Wall Street Journal. But to basically apologize to anybody who's hurt, but especially the Jewish community and the Black community. Now, one, Kanye, or Ye, to be properly named, to respect his pronouns. But one, he must have a new publicist or something coming because we all know, as much as he's explaining that he has bipolar disorder and he's been dealing with this really since his car accident, the fact that he went all the way back to the car accident just shows that there's a team around him that are really trying to draw the string to where, see, he's been going through it for this long, and just because he's been erratic for the past few years doesn't mean he hasn't been going through it in the earlier years where everybody loved him. But the fact that he even took a page out of the Wall Street Journal shows a level of seriousness he's trying to be taken. Because the Kanye West we know, or excuse me, the Ye we know, would have just went to social media and went on some sort of rant without any checks and balances, without any correction or anybody checking over it. And the fact that this was done on a platform such as the Wall Street Journal, as expensive as it is, as well formed as it was, going back 20 plus years, I'm not saying he's promoting something, but I'm just saying this shows that there is a level of seriousness he is trying to convey. And there is definitely some sort of team around him who decided that this is the way to go. And if he wants to be taken seriously, he can't just post to social media. It has to be something that when people see it, and especially if you understand the cost, you'd be like, oh, okay. Now, of course, there are going to be people who ignore this and just be like, hey, you got to show me. This is nice, but you got to show me you've changed. But if that's what he's trying to do, I'd be allowed to say this wasn't a step in the right direction.
I so desperately want to drive this point home about Kanye West. If you've never listened to anything that I have to say about Kanye, please listen to this. And I'm going to put this right here, the Kanye's apology, pause to read. It's pretty lengthy. And the point is, number one, I can't tell you whether or not you should accept his apology. Because while he is apologizing to a community, in this case, two communities, the Jewish community and the Black community, we're all still individuals within the community. Now, obviously, majority rules. So if we, majority people decide that we want to, forgive Kanye West and the Black community or Jewish community, cool. But the point I want to drive home is that when people tell you something is wrong, this is not the first time Kanye has mentioned him being bipolar, having a disorder. When people are vulnerable enough and they're willing to tell you what's wrong, especially with something like bipolar disorder. If they turn the corner again, I don't want to say when, but if they turn the corner again, please, for the love of God, do not turn back into an enabler. I made this point with Gucci Mane, and I've alluded to other rappers. I'm in the rap topic business. That's mostly what I talk about, along with politics, sports, comedy. But when people when they're clear-minded and they tell you, hey, I want to apologize for what I did then, I don't want you to just only think about, oh, well, you're going to do it again. I want you to think about, if they do it again, remember this time period. Because what happens is you see these really talented people with a fan base, with stans. And then you also, you're soft on them because you like them. I love Kanye West's music. And I realized the only way I could manage Kanye West is I had to make him persona non grata, right? I had to just pretty much just ignore a lot of what he does. It's only now that I've started talking about Kanye again. I started talking about him almost like a past tense manner, which I know is kind of not healthy. I don't dispute that that's kind of not healthy, right? But when Kanye would do things, I would go, okay, well, Kanye has told me. It's almost more than 5 years now, if not almost a decade ago. He told me he was bipolar. So, persona non grata, please go get better. But what doesn't help is all these Kanye West stans or fans or regular people who are just kind of, they have got an affinity for his music, and they take these things serious again. And we all don't sit, especially the black community, because Kanye is black. The other communities I can't speak for. Our focus should be, he's not well. Can't take none of this serious. No, I don't want to hear you gotta listen to some truth in it. You just don't like where it's coming from. Well, Kanye crazy, but no. All of that is disqualified when the person in their clear mind has told you, I'm sick. Right? So now, from what I know, Kanye doubled back again, because I think that was posted in the Wall Street Journal. He said, hey, let me come back. Some people are saying that I might double back and I might let them down again. And he addressed that. But I think the responsibility of the community is, look at it like, maybe it's apples to oranges. But if I lose my arm, but I got a prosthetic arm, I guess. I don't know. It's the best analogy I come up with. You're always going to know I don't have an arm. So even if I put a prosthetic arm in there and I'm functioning, one day when the prosthetic arm's not around, you wouldn't hand me a 50-pound boulder and say, hey. Or even if I insisted, hey, I'm going to go, I don't know, F1 racing today. You would go, buddy, you don't have an arm. At best, can we at least get your prosthetic arm? Maybe I may not like it, because I'm like, treat me like I'm, no. We know the reality. I hope this makes sense. It's just we do this with a lot of people who tell us when they're clear-minded, hey, I was dealing with this. I said it with Gucci Mane. When Gucci was going on his tirades, so many fans stands like, oh, Gucci telling the truth. Hey, Gucci a real one. And then now Gucci's like, yeah, bro, I'm on meds. I was not well. Okay? All right, I hope you guys get what I'm saying.
I can agree. Welcome to the channel, guys. I can agree exactly with what he was saying. I think, though, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with anything this young man just said. Young man, we probably the same age. All right, I agree. I think what we tend to do is we have a tendency to over judge and overserve. So when I say that, just because Kanye is apologizing, it doesn't mean we have to forget. We can forgive him. Doesn't mean we have to forget what he did and how he did. But that also doesn't mean we're going to bring it up every single time his name comes up either. You know what I mean? I do think it needs to be considered that he's been saying this for a long time. Kanye, for the real Kanye fans, I am a Kanye West fan. If you have watched my previous video about Kanye West, you would know. Kanye has been saying this for decades. This ain't new. Not condoning you know, none of the hateful things and all that he said. But Kanye has been lashing out for years. Pretty much, I would honestly say when his mom passed, that's when he really, really, really changed. You know what I'm saying? His music changed. Everything changed. So, and you don't expect people to stay the same. You know, that's growth. You know, people have life experiences. People change. But as a real listener, which I was, and still kind of am, I still listen to that '07 album to this day, daily, literally daily. Best album, one of the top 3 albums to me of all time. Love it, you know. But Kanye has, I'm not gonna say hurt the black community. He's let us down too many times, regardless of the fact that he's not been well. We can understand and accept that, you know, you're not well or you're going through what you're going through, but to go through the lens of standing there with the White Lives Matter shirts on, backing Donald Trump, the swastikas. I can't speak about the you-ish community because that's not my place, but I honestly feel like he owe us more of an apology than them. First, I felt like that should have been first. I felt like the people that have always supported and been there for him regardless should have been first. Okay? Every single time he has done this, he always put us in the back seat and them in the front first. That's the only thing I have a problem with when it comes to this apology. I really feel as if obviously he may have had a PR team write that for him because we, you know, really know how Kanye give it up. If he, you know, like this guy said, if Kanye really wanted to apologize or himself, he would have lashed out on Twitter or whatever. We would have seen it already, you know, or he would have been a video of him crying somewhere, you know, not saying that's what I want. I'm just saying, like, there looks like there is a support team behind him now, which is good. That's not, you know, I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying it just looks different than what we've been used to since 2006, 2000. I've been listening to him since 2003, 2002. So, I agree with Dr. Rashad Ritchie's sentiment about it's a start. It is a start. It's a start. The fact that somebody even has the courage to apologize, to say I'm sorry, that's huge, because a lot of people can't do it. A lot of people will know they're dead ass wrong and still cannot apologize, right? So that's accountability. So that means he has looked inward and has said, yo, the ish I've been doing has been effed up and I want to at least try to make it right. Okay? My whole thing is with disrespect of any kind, violation, disrespect, anything. In order for me to really rock with you like that again, you got to undo everything you did louder than how you undid it. It has to be louder. The apology has to be louder. You can't disrespect me in public and apologize to me in private. Can't do it. You can't disrespect and violate the black community who has always been there for you, supported your merchandise, everything. Backpack era. Kanye was backpack era rap. He started a whole nother genre of music. One of the best producers to ever produce was next to Dr. Dre and I'm trying to think of another top producer. I can't really think right now, but Kanye is a mastermind. He is genius, but he also warned us of these issues. Real fans, real listeners like me, we always knew that. So when he would lash out here or there, I got a cousin, quick story. I got a cousin, His name is Big Al. He was from New York City. He would come up here and he would stay with my aunt, like 6 months out of the year, and he'd go back down because he is too much. Big Al used to be in the streets in New York City. And Big Al, he ended up, one of his best friends ended up robbing him, and like 6 or 7 dudes stomped his head out. So he's not right up here at the top. You know what I mean? He wasn't right. Big Al was not right. You know what I'm saying? Big Al was crazy. But when Big Al was on his medication, when he was surrounded by loving people, he was fine. Yes, he had days where he became a little unbearable, where, you know what I'm saying? He had like he would say some crazy ish, like, I'm gonna kill y'all when y'all go to sleep. So what we would have to do, we would take like we would take like the bar. My aunt had a bar in her house. It wasn't used though. So just picture like a chest high shelf. And we would have to slide that in front of his door so he wouldn't get out. Just so if he was getting out, we would hear him getting out. We would have to hide all the kitchen knives and stuff. And I would sleep in the living room, which is next to the kitchen, because I was the lightest sleeper. That way, if he got some way to get there, I would stop him. But Big Al was older than me by like 18, 19 years. But as I said, he had very good days, and then he had some very, very, very bad days. Very bad. But we still loved him. We respected him with the same respect every day, even if he violated previously. We didn't treat him no differently. We just understood, okay, this is his trigger. We can't do this. We can't do that. I'm not saying Kanye deserves that kind of grace. But y'all, most people have accepted less from the president of this country. Way less. Way. It's not even close. So, do I accept his apology? I accept anybody's apology that's at least trying. It doesn't mean I'm going to interact with you the same way. But that's a start. If you need to clear your conscience and you want to at least try to make things right, I can agree with that. But what I can agree with is the placing of the apology. As the host on Rashad Richey said, I can't agree with that. The people that have always supported you should have been first. I had 2 pair of Yeezy Boost shoes that, I'm in the bodybuilding and stuff. So I had 2 pair of Yeezy Boost shoes that I was saving for a photo shoot. I was going to wear one and I was going to keep the other ones. I was going to keep them and just save them just because, I always just wanted a decent pair of Yeezy Boost shoes from Kanye, and them the only ones I like. So I paid, it was like $250 for them. Kanye, then he comes out with the White Lives Matter stuff. I'm like, damn, bro. I knew you was, I knew you didn't rock with the Democrats. I don't either. But damn, we doing that. This is what we doing. Okay. And then when he said, black people don't support me and X, Y, and Z, da. When he shit on us, that's when I sold them shoes. I didn't have intentions on selling them shoes. That was just something that really meant a lot to me, was to, one of my favorite artists could at least have their own brand and it do well. And I just wanted a pair of those shoes. I got them. And then you shit on the same people that's supporting the reason why you even have the shoes in the first place. So, Kanye been kind of running the Joker. He been kind of the Joker from Batman on us right now. He just, you don't know what you're getting. Some people say, hey, it's because he has promo coming. He has, he's dropping music, da. Kanye, one thing I can say, he's very, very intentional with what he does. I don't know what's going to come of this. I don't know what's going to come of this. I know the recent song he dropped is fire. Okay. Now, when it comes to his music, I'll give him a shot. But when it comes to him just saying anything, I don't hear nothing he got to say. Okay. Some people get the t-shirts that say, I want the old Kanye. I like the old Kanye. The old Kanye ain't never coming back. I've accepted that. I've accepted the fact that he's transformed because he has, that car accident was real serious trauma. Him losing his mother the way he lost her. If you watch that documentary, his mother was his rock. His mother was the only person keeping him in check. We all have that one person, even if you are a stable individual. We need people to hold us accountable when you have so much money that you can't be held accountable. That's all I'm saying. And then referencing back to my cousin, he was I'll just say crazy. I don't know the exact definition that I'm trying to remember, because that was a while ago. I haven't seen him. Like, crazy part, he ended up going to like a psychiatric facility, and this dude escaped, and we ain't seen him since. Like, it's wild just talking about that. I don't know how he escaped. We don't know where he went. Nobody has seen or heard from him since 2004, 5. Yeah, haven't seen or heard from him. But that medication, some people, these medications can drug you and have you do some crazy shit. I've seen it. I'm not excusing Kanye, but it's a start. Let's see what happens 6 months or a year from now. Let me know what y'all think. Leave your comments below. Like, comment, share. Ayobastle TV. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace.